out.
I honestly think just getting rid of rent or restructuring the way rent.
Thank you. I was thinking of that because yes.
Like in terms of ROI, I think that would like have much better ROI than.
To your point, Mike, you made earlier, you were saying, oh, I log in and I play for 3 hours and there's 3 people on or something, and I'm like, yeah, and you get charged 100 gold rent or something every time you log. If you have good equipment, it's like, so I have to spend a majority of that time trying to get replacement gold so I can rent again. That was something that was always a difficult thing.
It's an unfortunate situation that the game penalizes like just logging on to see who's on, right?
Yeah.
like you're like, I wonder if any of my friends are on, and then you log in and you're like, my ability to continue playing has been decreased.
Yeah. That's a great point. Additionally, the rent system makes it very difficult to log off. So it's tough because it would. Are you suggesting just getting rid of like the costs or the renting mechanism itself? Like you have to go to a place to quit the game.
Oh no, I think you should still have to go to an innkeeper to quit the game for sure. But yeah, I like one idea is just get rid of the rent cost. Another idea is reduce it substantially. One idea that I had is you don't charge rent for anything that's equipped. You only charge rent for stuff that's like in inventory or in a container. So, and then if your rent expires, you don't lose what you have equipped. You only lose what's in containers or inventory. So your rent never decreases your ability to play the game. You never lose your sword and your shield or your staff and your stuff. It's only like kind of like your surplus stuff that would even be at risk. Just something like that to just make like to me the critical goal is rent should never decrease your ability to play the game. It can maybe penalize or reshape it or restructure it, but should never be a scenario where you want to play the game but you cannot play it in some basic capacity because of rent. That's just insane to me, I think.
No,
I also don't like the fact that it's every 100 gold is 1 gold of rent. So it's actually better to have 99 gold in rent than it is to have 100 gold in rent. And like in what universe? I guess MUME charges a hotel tax based on your income. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't argue with that at all. There's been so many times where, I mean, that's pretty much all the time. That's why I don't log in, is because, I mean, I'm gonna lose all my equipment. So that's why I actually usually log in naked.
Right there. So you literally just said, you said, I pretty much don't log in because I'm gonna lose my stuff. Like that's just, I understand, back in the 90s that it was a hardcore game and that it was very role-playing-ish. And there were people trying to abuse it and bank and, like accumulate huge, vast, operate their own kind of character banks and stuff. I know that shit happened back in the 90s, but that was a different world. Back then, there used to be 110 players online. Now we're lucky if it's like 10 players online. Like the situation, the context has changed, and the game mechanic should change to adapt it. Like I'm not saying the game itself should be any easier. Make it harder. Increase.
No, I agree.
Difficulty. I'm just saying, rent has nothing to do with the difficulty of play. It's just an arbitrary kind of external mechanic that fucks with you, basically.
Exactly. See, that's a great point